Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Warcraft Rumble HEROIC campaign guide, I'm going to show you how to take down the Crystal Shaper in Ungaro with all families. In the heroic version of Crystal Shaper, these crystal golems are already empowered, so they're just going to come in really fast and they're going to regenerate and everything. They also hit ground-based AoE attacks, and then they hit air with single target attacks. And they switch targets, so if you try to send an air unit after you have a tank tanking the golem, then the golem is just going to switch targets and hit that air unit too, so air units are not safe. Other than that, they do hit a little bit like wet noodles, so they are very tanky but not very much damage. However, damage comes from raptors, from prowlers, from mountaineers, from safe pilots. The other minis AI has access to, those will deal the damage while these are tanking your minis. And this bit of a DPS race, there's going to be a new wave of golems every minute. So at 2:30 is the next wave, and then at 1:30 is another wave, and so on. But you basically want to try to finish this early. Just answer the first wave and kill the Crystal Shaper before the second wave even happens. And if you have levels, if you have like level 20, 21 minis, then you can do that fairly easily, at least with level 21 or above. But if your minis are something like level 19, then this job suddenly becomes a lot harder. These sort of DPS races are of course difficult if you don't have the DPS, because each level is around 10% more DPS. So what I like to do in this one is, when you're on low levels, I try to steal the golem that's coming through this lane, and I try to make a hard push here. Grab this tower, push here. If I push through the center, the towers are going to shoot at that. If I try to push through the left side is also a little bit awkward. It's a long way to go, and it's hard to get a fast attack there because two minis are coming from here, so you have to actually clear those first. You can do that if you have some levels, but if you don't have levels, then it's minimal defense. Defend just barely enough so that your base will survive. It might take a couple of attempts to see what is barely enough depending on the opponent's exact hand and order, but grab this one, attack through here, and beat down the Crystal Shaper. That's the main strategy. This is the army that I use for Crystal Shaper. Once again, I have 4 minis that I use in all armies, and then 2 minis that are a bit of flex slots. However, in this one in particular, especially with lower levels, like we're 19.1 here, minus 2.9 levels, I actually cannot use all the bonus slots sometimes, because sometimes in this one it's more important to be able to cycle, to have cheap minis, than to make use of all of your bonus slots. The key slots in this one are Banshee and Harpies. Banshee is here to steal one of the golems, so that's going to be my tank, and Harpies are my main damage dealer. So those are super important. Whelpeks are also very, very useful, because the golems, they hit AoE ground attack, okay, so they pop all the eggs, and then they hit single target air attack. So the whelps will last a little bit longer because they are a squad. I have chickens here. Chickens are really good against prowlers. They're good against mountaineers. They can hit the golems. If you have golem that's hitting at something else, it will not change targets typically for another ground target. So chickens, if you can position them behind the golem, they can attack the golem. However, the raptors in this one have the healing talent, which means that if you put your chickens against those raptors, then you can't kill any raptors with chickens because they just keep healing. And then a couple of flex slots. Witch Doctor, I would like to have ranged ground minis that preferably do AoE damage and are really cheap. That would be like the ideal mini. Witch Doctor is very close to that. I like Witch Doctor a lot. And here I tried to do this with Dark Spear Troll. Maybe it could have been possible, but I just ended up going, let's go as cheap as I can so that I can get to cycle better. Getting to cycle better means I get another wave of Harpies going. Getting to cycle better means that I might be able to steal another golem with a Banshee, because I'm stealing that one golem, going for the attack, and the other two, I still have to try to handle those somehow, and one way is to steal them, another way is to have some AoE. So there's small alterations of the same team with these 4 core minis, 2 flex slots, but you will see all families cleared in this video, so you will see the exact teams that I used. And this is what it all looks like in action. And here we go, Heroic Crystal Shaper starting with Alliance. So I'm waiting for the one on the right lane to arrive. I'm going to use a Banshee to steal that, and I'm going to send Harpies together with that now my newfound tank, so that they will be able to grab the tower. Then more attacks are coming, and these change depending on what the AI's hand is. So I have tried this a couple of times to get this right, so that I will be able to use the chickens to kill the prowler, and I use the ghoul in order to kill the safe pilot. Because remember, those golems themselves don't hit that hard. So with golems not hitting that hard, that means that my base can fight against them, it can tank them to an extent. Alright, now we managed to get rid of them, and we have the attack going. And we still have 16 seconds before the next wave, so it's all going according to the plan, and this is just going really well, and boom. That's the first kill. Then let's do the same with beasts. So here we go again. I don't have a banshee here, so I need to cycle a little bit in order to find the banshee. But I find the banshee there, splendid. I have harpies, plus my newly found tank going. In this one there's a raptor stat, and raptors will eat your chickens. So I'm spending some whelpex here. I'm letting them do a little bit of damage so that then the witch doctor can come in, and witch doctor can kill the raptors. And now I'm free to drop chickens behind the golems so that I can get an assault on the golems. This time I don't know what my tank golem is doing. You were supposed to be tanking for my harpies. Well, be that as it may, that's gonna be fine, I believe. Come on, tank golem, would you please be kind enough to arrive at the scene of action? And it was wonderful. And now we have that one, and we have a lot of whelp eggs. Whelp eggs, harpies, these flying minis that can only be killed one by the Crystal Shaper in squad form, and boom, and patow, that's another kill. Alright, hero Crystal Shaper with Blackrock. And again, we're waiting a little bit. We want to steal the golem that's coming from the right. And here we go. We steal that and we send harpies. And this time I have access to Plague Farmer and I have a Pyromancer. So I can try to send those out there to just actually kill these golems. And use some chickens. This time the chickens, I mean the raptors are coming. So the chickens will die fairly soon. But they still get to do some damage to the prowler. Because that prowler is probably the most dangerous mini that you're going to face, because prowler can easily kill that base very quickly. Prowler has very high DPS. Here I'm using whelpex, I'm using the golem tank, I'm sending some more harpies. So while the golem will kill some of the air units, it can only kill air units one by one, and my air units are squads, so that they're less vulnerable to that. And Plague Farmer adding some more poison stacks, and boom, there it goes again. And then we're going to do it with Horde. Again, I mean, we have the same plan every time. You may need to try these a couple of times. I think I one-shot one of these, and the others I needed a couple of attempts to see, okay, what is the AI's hand? What are they going to send and where? Because I need to be able to have minimal defenses, just enough defenses that I don't die, my base isn't going to get killed, and that my harpy push is going to reach the boss. And here, for example, when that prowler was coming, the chickens countering the prowler, because prowler, if the crystal golems are going to tank your base and tank all of your damage dealers, then prowler can drop that base really, really quickly. But now we're able to get 2 waves of harpies in. We have the golem tanking, we are dropping some whelpex on there, and yeah, life is looking pretty good. Some raptors are coming, but those raptors should be too late to matter, because we already have so much damage going in. We have that poison ticking, and yeah, the golem, it is going... Is it going down? I really genuinely thought it was going down. Okay, well, it's going to go down as soon as I play the whelpex. So just a tiny bit more, and whelpex, and we're in time. Yeah. Okay, that was quite close, but that was also -3 levels. And one more time with the feel, this time we're doing this with Undead. And, well, it's always the same plan. Here we're going to steal that golem. It's important to steal that golem far away enough, so that it doesn't get into a fight around your base, so that it actually gets into an attack. This time I don't have my harpies ready, so I have to cycle a little bit to try to get those harpies, so that delayed my attack, and that was a little bit awkward. But I do have Plague Farmer, and I have the Witch Doctor, so I have some minis hitting at the golems that are near my base, so those should fall reasonably quickly. And we now get through. We still have our golem tanking. We have some harpies in. And plague farmer. Harpies give poison. Plague farmer with poison. Just getting some poison stacking in there. Now I'm actually deploying a Rivendare here. I figured that maybe I will be able to use the tank here. And here we go. Good push going in. A new wave spawned at 2:30 because they spawn every minute, but too late. Boom, another victory. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.